Um, good morning to everyone this morning from the UK, and good afternoon for anyone who's joining us from India. My name is Ian Matthews. I am a corporate partner from Kingston Smith, a firm of chartered accountants and business advisors. I'm one of the lead partners in our firm's India group, a long-standing group focusing on UK-India relations and opportunities. I'm very pleased to welcome my panel today. My fellow partner, Paul Winterflood, who's joining us from my corporate finance team. Today's going to be talking about getting your business ready for sale and what are the key things to consider. I'm really pleased to welcome Helen Wong, MBE, from the law firm Charles Russell Speechlys, who will be guiding us on the things to consider in this current situation on the practicalities of selling a business. And I'm very pleased to introduce one of my clients, in fact, Laurie Stevens, CEO of Global Publishing Solutions. Laurie has 25 years plus on dealing with Indian businesses and operating in that sphere, and actually has successfully received investments over the years from India. So the idea is that each of us will cover our topics, and there will be a Q&A session at the end. If you do have any questions, please can you put them in the chat function, and I will try and pick them up at the end. Right. Everyone's joined the webinar to find out about the investment opportunities of India, so let's run into it. Why India is a pretty good question. The easy answer is it's just so big. It overtook the UK 2 years ago and is now the 5th largest economy in the world by GDP. It has a whole range of businesses, from some of the world's largest conglomerates to owner-managed businesses very similar to the sort that we deal with in day out here at Kingston Smith. India already has that history of working with Indian businesses. It is the 2nd largest direct investor into the UK, second only behind the US. So it's a mature market for the UK, and also for the exact same reasons that the UK would consider dealing with India, vice versa. There's so much in common between the two countries. It just lends itself to be a natural partner. So as part of our long-standing relationship with India, here at Kingston Smith, we have a dedicated team based out of Delhi whose sole job is really to go out there and talk to Indian corporates and find out about their plans on investing and developing their interest in the UK. There has been a growing amount of conversation, which has led us to really release this report, which was sent out via all the channels last month. So if you haven't had a chance to read it, please may I suggest you do so. It is available on our website or on many of our LinkedIn posts. So the anecdotal evidence was very much that there was a hunger there. There was very much an interest. So the report was very much designed to delve deeper. So as I say, we have a dedicated team based out of Delhi talking to some big businesses, medium-sized businesses, small businesses. A lot of them, and I do have to obviously put the health warning of this was pre-COVID, was very much having the conversations about getting their pipeline in place for the next 18 months on investments. What were they looking to acquire? We had examples passed to us of $50 million to $150 million from a whole range of sectors of businesses looking to invest in the right business, and actually increasingly looking at growing their interest in the UK. So our team have actually seen a 25% increase year on year last year in actual inquiries on investing in the UK. So it's very much trying to then look further back and seeing what sort of deals, the volume of deals were actually going on, which you'll find in our report. So the key findings very much were, it is generally around sectors. So technology has seen the predominant interest over the years. And I refer to COVID pre-COVID times. But recent research actually shows that the 3 largest tech businesses in India have actually made 9 acquisitions in COVID times, which is up on last year. And that's just a microcosm of what opportunities India can provide. And actually going forwards, a lot of the conversations my team have been having have actually been surrounding that, yes, COVID has offered a bit of a speed bump and has delayed matters slightly, but actually these plans on developing the pipelines are still there, but they've been deferred by 6 months to maybe a year. So the opportunity is still very much there going forwards. The actual acquisitions a lot of these tech businesses have been making have been strategic. So they've been looking at AI, online platform implementation, very much niche offerings, which was one of the other findings we found when looking into the data. It's very much that when Indian businesses look at the UK to really stand out from the crowd, it's the niche capabilities. And while I really stress the word capabilities, we have had, obviously with technology and edtech, fintech has seen a growth in particular during these times of lockdown. It's not just technology, it is niche capabilities across the field. Taking up one of the fintech examples, one of my clients has actually received, was at a relatively early stage, a few years back, but had a unique solution. So this Indian company acquired them, invested in them, enabled them to develop their product, go to market, and actually successfully promote that product, which they wouldn't have done alternatively. So while it's just niche opportunities, it's not going forwards, and going back to what I've said at the beginning a little bit. The reason behind a lot of this increase that we're expecting is the commonality and everything which connects the UK with India, the common language, the laws, and the post-Brexit environment is very much seen as an opportunity. Very much so. Next slide, please. One of the other key findings from our report, it's very much about the investment routes with the Indian deals. While 37% of all deals over the last 10 years have been M&A, actually that's not to the exclusion of any other route. I would stress that it could be early stage, late stage, and asset acquisition. There are a huge range of opportunities and routes to investment out there when dealing with the Indian market. So we've established why India, what is India providing, but actually it's really on the UK companies looking to India for investment to actually take the next steps. What do they need to do to be ready for that investment? And I don't want to tread too much on Paul's feet, because obviously he will be mentioning some of those steps you can take. But looking at the Indian specific points, I can just take them. As with all deals, it's getting the details right up front. Very much so. The feedback we've had from corporate finance teams in corporates in India very much is that where deals fall over is where there's surprises, where people haven't been upfront, that there's not, information is not readily available. Also, where we have found quite a huge amount of success with Indian businesses is where the introduction has been through a warm lead. So solicitors such as Helen or accountants such as ourselves. The days of just going on to Google aren't there anymore, unfortunately. So as part of getting the details ready, there are the common drivers of a sales value, which I will certainly leave to Paul to discuss. But as you can imagine, the prerogative of any buyer is to try and cut down the value, the sales figure, and so it's making sure that those common drivers to increase value are considered. You'd be surprised how many businesses we deal with who aren't at that stage compared to where they think they are. The 2 points I'm going to pull out from there. If we could go back a slide, thank you, Sean. The 2 points I really want to pull from there are, it's people and IP. So people, looking at an international business, people are very much at the center of it. And where the Indian business can offer huge synergies and support, it's looking to see how your business, the UK business, can fit in within that sector, within that group. So our global mobility team, one of their common problems they're finding, especially at the moment, it's the risk assessment of that cross-border workforce. Actually, a lot of the questions they're finding are trying to develop internal guidelines linked to risk. It's talking not just tax and HR, it's about immigration, all the legal needs behind it. It's a real cross-disciplinary field which you do need to have thought about up front to be able to actually add to your proposition to go, look, we're ready. As I said, one of the key reasons the buying drivers behind Indian business, it is that unique, that USP that UK business can provide, that innovation, the IP. So is it protected? How have you protected it, and how are you exploiting it? As an accountant, I have to mention tax, but it is a key point. R&D is one of the biggest tax reliefs out there. But if you've got the IP, but you're not exploiting all the reliefs available to you, it might be a turn-off for businesses. So if you can have a clear proposition about what your IP is and how you're exploiting it, then that is going to be a huge tick in your box. And talking to our R&D team, you'd be amazed how many people don't even pick up the fact they qualify for R&D. It's not just men in lab coats. One of the biggest sectors for claiming R&D is actually the construction industry in the UK. So if you think you're coming up with an innovative solution, you've got the IP to sell, please consider it and make sure it's protected and very much front and center. And with that, I shall pass on to my colleague Paul, who will talk to you about the key drivers on growing your sales value.